But you use some language in the book, Living in Wisdom. That's what we're talking about. You said grief is a rite of passage.
Yeah.
That was like, wow.
I think, and I speak as someone that darkness has been a big teacher for me in my life. And that's not everyone's path, but it's mine and it's some other people's. Having some childhood trauma, having adult trauma, having witnessing hard things, losing people. I started to look at my life and say, it feels so dark. I don't look like that. Sometimes not looking like what you've been through is kind of a curse because people think nothing's wrong. No one checks on you, but it's like when I started to realize that pain serves purpose. And I mean that literally, like pain sometimes is the servant to purpose. Like when you can look at it, when you can be with it, when you can kind of extract yourself from the personalization of it, it can be really useful for you. And for me, my path has always been to be a healer, to be a teacher, to be present with people in pain, to sit at the bottom of the ocean with someone. So now I realize I needed every lesson I learned because it informs the work that I'm able to do. So I think once you're able to start seeing even your harder experiences as somehow being useful for the bigger story that your life is telling, right? For the bigger thing that you're doing in the world, I think it changes everything.
And with that being said, I love that you celebrated your book in your garden and you co-hosted it with Lauren London.
Yes, my sister.
Okay, so you guys are friends.
Yeah.
Because she's been through traumatic experience, a big traumatic experience with losing the love of her life. A book like this would be like medicine to what she's gone through. How was that event? Like when you celebrated, how was that? Because I know you can see the healing directly in her because she's your friend.
I just have to say, Lauren is an exceptional woman. Like she is an exceptional woman with like one of the sweetest, kindest, like hearts you could ever imagine. Like she's just one of the kindest, most generous, heart-centered women I have ever had the pleasure of like being in sisterhood with.
I think y'all sisters, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is my personal opinion.
We found out we were born in the same hospital. There's a lot that is similar, but she's actually the first person I let read the book. And it's because she is also such a wise woman who has done so much of her own self-work and self-healing. Like she is very gifted and wise. And so I wanted her eyes on it first because I knew she could understand the layers, the complexity, the nuance of grief. And so, as she was reading it, she would just call me every few days and just be like, oh my God, this is amazing, or this part meant this to me. So it was really special. And then, when she offered to do something with me for the launch of the book, we had this gorgeous party in my garden. Gardening was such a healer for me. Like, and that also I want to say, I think is such a big antidote for grief, an antidote for healing. The more you can add romance to your own life, man or woman, the more you can add beauty to your life with intention, the easier healing becomes. And it's also a scientific fact, like seeing design, it can heal.